Howdy folks, my name is Richie aka Otter, and today I'd like to talk about the Curse of Naxxramas Adventure Pack for Hearthstone. Now this was revealed back in April during PAX East, but we recently got a new blog post by Blizzard detailing the pricing information and even unveiling a new heroic mode feature that's going to be introduced. So I just want to kind of unpack all the details of that, so let's get to it. So what is an adventure pack? Well, it's a way that the Blizzard is going to be introducing new cards to the game. This adventure pack is going to have 30 new cards that you can unlock for your account. You're going to be fighting a series of bosses that should be familiar to anyone who has raided in World of Warcraft and went through the Naxxramas raid. And you will unlock these cards by defeating the bosses that you would encounter in Naxxramas. And the way they're going to do it is they're going to release a wing. There's going to be 5 wings in total. They're going to release one wing at a time, once per week, over the course of 5 different weeks. So the first one's going to be completely free. This is going to be the Arachnid Quarter. And if you log in during the launch event for the Curse of Naxxramas Adventure Pack, you will unlock that wing for free and be able to fight 3 bosses and unlock some cards. If you miss the launch window, and remember you have a month to do it, so you have a lot of time to do it. If you miss that launch window, then you'll actually have to pay for that wing. And the other 4 wings that come out, you have to pay for as well. Now, you can either purchase those wings with in-game gold currency that you earn just by playing the game. So if your gold coffers are a little bit low, start playing the game right now, do your dailies to get your gold up. Or you can actually just spend real money to unlock it. And remember, the game's been free to play for, forever. The game is a free-to-play game. So this is just they want to introduce new cards and new game mechanics and new game modes to the game, but there is a way that you can either pay for it or earn it just by playing the game. Let's take a quick look at the pricing information. Now, it does seem like you can bundle this up and actually pay less if you get everything unlocked at once. All 5 wings will be $24.99. These prices are in US dollars. I'll put links in the description below if you are in other regions of the world and want to see the pricing information that is appropriate to you. So if you already own the first wing, you can purchase the remaining 4 for $19.99. That's the pack that most people will probably be getting because the first wing you'll get for free. And then if you want to unlock the other 4, you'll spend about $20. If you already own the first 2 wings, it'll be $14.99. If you already own the first 3 wings, it'll be $9.99. And each individual wing is $6.99 or 700 gold. So you're looking at needing 2,800 gold total to unlock all of the wings just with the gold currency, which is not a huge amount. You can probably get 700 gold fairly quickly and at least be able to be good for the first 2 weeks of the launch event. And, as you play through that, you'll also be earning some more gold as you go through. So start saving it up, and I'm excited to see what they unlock. So what is this adventure pack all about? What are you going to be doing? Well, up until now, Hearthstone has mostly been about playing other players, right? There is a practice mode where you can play against an AI computer-controlled opponent, but it quickly becomes very boring and very easy to defeat. And so there are players, like I have friends and family who loved Hearthstone, played it a bunch, and they're not really into playing other players in like ranked mode. And, they played a bunch of arena games, but they still prefer a more, relaxed environment to actually unlock cards. And that's what Naxxramas is all about. You're going to play against computer-controlled opponents. You're going to be fighting the bosses of Naxxramas, and each one's going to have some gimmicks, some special powers, some access to new cards, and they're going to basically be unfair opponents, and that you're going to have to craft your own decks to actually defeat them. So I'll give you an example. The one that they've revealed is Hygen the Unclean, and he has a hero power that allows him to spend 1 mana to deal 2 damage to the leftmost creature on the board. And now suddenly your placement of your creatures or your minions is even more important than before. So you can think of strategies like maybe you're going to put something on the left-hand side that can survive the 2 damage, or maybe it's going to be a creature that has a death rattle ability that you want them to actually kill, right? So you can put the loot hoarder on the left-hand side, and then he uses his, hero power, and the loot hoarder dies, and you get a card. So you can kind of think about strategies of what cards you want to put in your deck that actually counter Hygen the Unclean's hero power. So each boss is going to be like that, and when you defeat these bosses, you will unlock cards for your account. And then you can actually, and any cards that you've now unlocked in your account will show up in the arena. they'll start to be choices that you can make in the arena, and of course you can include them in your constructed decks if you so choose. Now, after you defeat all of the bosses for all of the wings over the course of the 5 weeks that they put it out, you're going to be able to unlock Heroic Mode. And this is the newly revealed mode that they just started to cover. And this is going to be a much more difficult version. Obviously, it's Heroic. And the incentive for doing this is if you defeat all of the bosses on Heroic Mode, you unlock a new card back that will be a special indication that your cards will look different on the back, and it'll show off that you did that. I wish there was a little bit more incentive to actually doing the heroic mode. I know people suggested that, oh, you should unlock the gold cards for doing heroic mode, and Blizzard kind of responded to that saying, then everyone would have those and they wouldn't be special. They want to keep those to be very rare. So the way you can do those is you can still craft those golden cards using a lot of dust. But yeah, I wish there was some more incentive to actually defeat, like let's say you defeat a wing on heroic mode. There should be something that you get for that rather than it just being all or nothing. It's either defeat all of them on heroic and get the card back, at least that's how it sounds like from the blog post, or you don't have any incentive to kind of go through that. It's the same thing how I feel about the monthly seasons. Right now you unlock a card back for getting rank 20, and then there's no other incentive unless you can actually make it to legendary. So once you hit rank 20, I don't feel any kind of external motivation to try to get to like rank 10 or something like that. So I think they kind of eventually need to put in some other types of cosmetic rewards to incentivize people to achieve certain things in the game. So this set is going to be rolling out and it's going to introduce a bunch of different cards to the game over the course of several weeks. Now, I mentioned before that it's interesting that they're unlocking this a wing at a time over the course of 5 weeks. What this does to the game is it makes it so that the game and the meta is going to be constantly changing over the course of that 5 weeks. And that's something we haven't really seen much in the game because the card pool has been rather static. And what I think is cool about that is it gives a different type of player the ability to shine. Right now, with the meta being so static and the card pool not changing, what happens is, it's difficult to be creative in this environment. There are some emerging decks that come out every once in a while when somebody has a new thought and they construct a deck to really counter the current meta. But it really doesn't allow players who can respond quickly and identify changes ahead of time to really shine. So what do I mean by that? Well, since the meta is going to be shifting with a new influx of cards constantly over 5 weeks, the players that can quickly think about the new cards that have been introduced, figure out what are going to be great cards to include in constructed, or be able to react to these cards and make better choices in the arena. Should I be choosing that new card? Should I not be choosing that new card? Should I be choosing loot hoarders more often because they have a death rattle and that's going to synergize with a lot of the death mechanics that come out in Naxxramas. So those players that can react quickly and on their feet are going to actually have this window of opportunity during these Naxxramas wing openings to really shine and let their skills kind of float to the top. Whereas there's other skilled players who are very strategic, but they really need time to analyze all of the cards, to look at what other players are playing, to look at what other decks are being played, and they are really good at that kind of slow analysis that it will come after weeks and weeks of playing with the same pool of cards. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a really fun and interesting time for fans of Hearthstone. Hopefully it entices new players to join. Hopefully it brings some players back that maybe played for a time and then lost some interest. And I really hope that it's a successful business model and that they can start pumping out more of these adventure packs more often. Now, I did mention just a minute ago that Death Rattle is a theme to Naxxramas, and you probably have seen cards that have been revealed. I've been displaying them on the screen. But yeah, Death Rattle is certainly a mechanic that is going to be prevalent in this expansion. It doesn't look like there's going to be any brand new mechanics coming out, but I like the fact that they took a mechanic that had a few cards that people played a bunch with Death Rattle on it, but they made it a thing. This is definitely the theme of the patch, and it's going to be interesting to see what cards from the, the basic or the expert sets that were in the game already suddenly become more prevalent as a result of the death rattle mechanic being something that they focused on. So anyway, that is going to wrap things up. I hope you enjoyed this recap of the Curse of the Naxxramas. What do you think about the adventure pack? Are you going to be getting it? And are you going to be unlocking all the wings? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate you hitting like and favorite and subscribing to the channel so you can know when I go live with future videos. I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.